Okay, so this is the third in the series of circles. This is about arcs. So far we've talked about some basic parts of the circle and the definition of a circle, chords, and now arcs. Now, an arc refers to something that's curved. We talk, like if you shoot a basketball or throw a baseball, or it travels along an arc. It'll go up and then down, but it's curved, so it'll go like that. So an arc refers to part of a circle. That's our definition. Okay, it is part of a circle. That's it. So if we go from here to here, from B to C, that would be an arc. From D to B, that's an arc. So in some ways it's similar to a chord, right? But the difference is how you get from D to B. So if we travel straight across a line segment, that's chord D, B. Now if we go along the outside, like that, that's an arc. And the way we name this one, we'll talk about that a little more in a moment. But we're gonna still use the endpoints of that path, that arc. The endpoints of that path are going to be D and B, and instead of a straight little bar, we're going to draw an arc. So this is arc DB. This is chord DB. That's the difference between an arc and a chord, the way they look. Okay. Now, so that's our definition. There's going to be 3 different types of arcs that we're going to have. Okay. There's going to be a minor arc. Now, a minor arc is less than half of a circle. A major arc, okay, so that's minor is small, major is big. So small arc, less than half a circle. Major arc, big arc, more than half of a circle. And then finally, semi refers to half. So half a circle. So minor arc, major arc, semicircle. Okay? Now all 3 of these are going to be named using the endpoints. You use but it can be a little tricky sometimes. You need to make sure that you have the endpoints, but when you name them, sometimes you have to use three points. Sometimes you can use 2 points. So you name and or if it is a semicircle or a major arc, you must use 3 points to indicate direction. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. So let me draw another circle. So we got I forgot to put a center there. Let's call that the center. And Q, R, S, and we're going to need one that goes halfway too. So this one right here will be just on the other side. See, so that's and T. Okay? So if we start at Q, we can get to R two different ways. We can get to R going the long way, or we can get to R going the short way. Now, if we go the short way, in this case, the short path is less than half a circle. So that's a minor arc. We need the endpoints, which are Q and R. Order doesn't matter. We can make it RQ or QR. And you can write it like that. You do not have to write minor arc because we can tell that we just assume that the shortest path is the one we take. Now, if we want to go the long way and we use QR, that would be confusing, possibly, because we wouldn't know which direction to go. So to indicate the direction, you have to include one of these other points that it passes through. So here, this would be our major arc. And that could be, we're starting at Q, ending at R. So we still need those letters, but we want to know that we want to make sure we understand that we aren't going this way. We have to go through this way. So we're going to have to include one of these points. It doesn't matter which one. So S would work. That means that the only way we can go through S and end up at R is if we go this direction. Same thing if we used T. And again, order really doesn't matter. We could say R, T, Q, etc. Okay? So that's how you name a major arc. And a semicircle is the same thing, except the distance, the length is going to be the same. You have to know which direction you want to take. So, for instance, if we want to go this way, that would be a semicircle, right? And so we would have Q, T is our endpoint, but we went through S. So S has to be in the middle. That's how you name and how you represent. Okay? If we wanted to go this direction, that would be Q, end at T, but this time passing through R.